Have you ever found that one thing that truly has its nails in you? That one thing where you keep trying to pull away from, but you find yourself going back to. Something that's not a drug and it's not an addiction, but it's something that you truly found special. For me, that has to be this game, Crimson Desert. And that all began in this spot right here. This spot is where I recorded one of my first ever shorts that I ever posted on this channel. And it's a spot that I find myself returning to multiple times whenever I come on this game. Let me show you why I find this spot in particular to be very special to me. We're just going to take a little bit of a walk over here. Do you see that view? Isn't it very beautiful, very breathtaking? And not only that, do you see that tower right there to the left? Or do you see that castle right there in the center? Or if I manage to pan my camera all the way here to the right to that tower, do you see that tower right there? Well, that's one of the things that make this game very special to me, is that all these things that you see right here in front of me, you could actually go there and visit. And this view is very just fantastic to look at. I am a older gamer. I'm 30. I'm turning 31 this year. And I've noticed that the way I play games are really different compared to how I used to play games. While I still do love my combat, puzzles, and hard bosses, what I tend to do a lot in games, especially in games of this scale, is I go find a nice spot and I just look at the sights, enjoy the view, take in the music, and just sit down and relax, especially after a long day of work. And this game has many of those different kinds of spots to where you just sit down and unwind and just enjoy a breathtaking sight. But I do want to talk about other things that I feel this game does very well, and one being exploration. At the time of recording this, I am sitting at 251 hours into the game. And though I've beat the main story and explored a lot of the map, there's still things that I have not come across yet. For example, I was just going to this location that I have marked on my mini-map to get some bloodstone to refine my weapons, and then I came across this structure right here that had a little chest on the top. And after gathering the bloodstone, I saw this enemy icon on the mini-map, which I then ran over to and fought a white wolf, which after killing, I found out that this was a legendary wolf that dropped an item that will allow me to summon this wolf as a mount after I crafted a specific item from a witch's hut. The next thing that I want to talk about is bosses, because this honestly surprised me. In a game this size, you'd think that a lot of bosses would repeat, or some games love to give you two bosses to fight at once. And while there are a couple of scenarios where you will fight reskins of bosses in this game, there's not as many reskins as you think. A lot of the bosses are very unique, and they will definitely offer you a challenge, especially if you change your difficulty to hard. Good luck, because it's rough out here on hard mode. But yeah, the fact that in a world this size, many of the bosses are unique and aren't reskins, it shows that the devs put a lot of time and effort into crafting a one-of-a-kind world, and I think that follows in many of the game's other aspects, like the combat. And man, do I have to say how refreshing it is to have a game studio not follow the trend of making a slower based Souls-like type system like many other games these days tend to do. Not to say that those games are bad. I do feel like they have their place in gaming as a whole, but me personally, I find myself gravitating more to the faster, more action-paced games, which draws me into this one more than some others. Now, the combat in this game does take some getting used to, but when you get the hang of it, you really start to realize how fun and intricate it really is. And there are 3 different characters that you can choose from, each of their own unique playstyle and skill tree. And while Cliff may be the most developed out of all 3 characters, the devs are putting in work to make the other 2 characters stand out and fun to play. And speaking of the devs, which are the last things I'm going to talk about in this video, They play a big role in making this game stand out from the rest of the games in the gaming industry. You could tell that they are very passionate about this game and that they truly do love the world that they've made. And not only that, you could tell that they love the community that they built by not only listening to community feedback, but also implementing fixes and changes at a pace that I haven't seen any other company do in years. And in an industry where it seems like the majority of companies are just after your wallet and don't really care about you, to see a company like Prolobis just do this is really unique and different. And not only does it give me hope for the future of gaming, because I'm hoping that other companies follow their example, but this is also a reason why Crimson Desert as a whole is very special and truly one of a kind.